Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast, powered by Game 7 Baseball, Game7Baseball.com. Lots of stuff coming up. The season's right around the corner.
Yes, right? It is. Yep.
Pitchers and catchers are reporting in a few weeks.
That's right.
Everybody's moving in that direction. The winter workouts are ramping up. High school baseball. Game 7 baseball is ramping up as well, from Tennessee to Kentucky to Illinois to Missouri. All parts of the Midwest are covered by Game 7 baseball. Get your team registered. You still got some discount opportunities. Through February 7th, you get a 3 for 30, 4 for 40, 5 for 50 discounts there with Game 7 baseball. Make sure you get registered at Game7Baseball.com and enjoy your spring and summer. All right. Today on YBMcast, we have Legion Baseball Talk, a Missouri American Legion, and I'm joined by the state chairman, Mr. Tom Rhoads. Tom, welcome to the show, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Well, that's one of the goals here. Where we as a YBMcast want to be comprehensive. We, our company, Red Earth Productions, on the digital side, has been working with the Missouri American Legion and enjoying that process, learning more about Legion Baseball. I'm learning more about Legion Baseball and the workings. And we wanted to talk to Tom a little bit more on a regular basis because you have a focus, an initiative, a direction for Missouri American Legion Baseball moving into the future, correct?
Right. And we're enjoying getting to learn more about your company and the people that you've put us in contact with. It's helping us a lot to understand the baseball arena, so to speak.
It sometimes feels like an arena, doesn't it?
It does. The old adage, remember, have you had enough? Have you not seen enough?
Exactly.
That's Gladiator, right?
Exactly.
Okay, sorry.
It's true, though, Tom. You know, the landscape of baseball has really changed over the last 20 years, and that's not that long.
No.
It really isn't. And when you're talking about Legion Baseball from then, and you've been part of Legion Baseball for quite some time.
Yes.
You know, what is, from where you're at sitting in the chairman's chair to where you were working in districts with posts, what do you see?
Well, the post positions I've had, the district chairman positions I've had, and now I've had the opportunity to be the state chairman. There are some things that are going on within the program, within the organization. In the past, that was more of a focus around just the post, so to speak. The post had its teams, and that was about really what they were focused on. And we're trying to bring a larger focus into play. Focus now that instead of just looking at there's 20, 30 teams in this district or 20, 30 teams in that district. How many teams we got in the state? And how many boys are we bringing up through the organization as a state program? We're trying to do more with promoting our players. That wasn't done in the past much. In fact, and you and I were in a conversation the other day. A college coach mentioned that it was always seemed to be a find to him to find a American Legion player because they're not promoted much.
Right.
So we don't have all this stuff going on, and it was like if you find one, you may find a really good one, and so we're trying to do more with the promotion for everybody, for all of our players. I think that's an important reason why we contracted with you to help us promote the brand, get that brand out there. This is what American Legion Baseball is all about, and also the program. And you're helping us quite a lot there.
That's something I think is interesting because let's look at this aspect of it. Developing a program on a state level, that's not necessarily what Legion's been in the past. But you have a particular initiative that I think is interesting, and I think it's going to take some time to get hold, but I think is advantageous as an initiative moving forward is the Division II league that you've talked about, that you've set in motion. And it really works to high schools with lesser student body.
Right.
I think it creates a competitive balance, whereas, some of these smaller schools and smaller communities, they had a hard time competing. You can say what you want to. This is why I think it's interesting, because it fits to me within the classifications of high schools in that respect. And was that, something as to why you did that?
Well, yes. The first thing that's very obvious when you look at the state is, where are these teams that we have? Where are they located at? And where are they not located at?
Right.
And when you look at the not located, you're looking at large areas of the state, and it's these little small cities. Mm-hmm. And so as you dig in a little bit deeper and find out what's the reason there, you hit upon it. One of it is competition. They really don't, because a lot of those schools are Class 3, Class 2, Class 1. They really don't want to go up against a Class 6 high school with a large enrollment, and some of these programs they draw from 2 or 3 of those schools.
Right.
So they want to compete, but they want to play. And so we have, this Friday and Saturday, we'll be at the Missouri High School Baseball Coaches Association, their annual conference in Jefferson City. We've been there for the last 10 years promoting just the program in general, but we'll really be promoting this D2 program. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of coaches that go to that conference from these little small cities, and we're hoping to make the contacts with them, get some serious commitments, mm-hmm. Answer questions and so forth. So we'll be manning a table there both days for this conference, and hopefully we'll get this thing moving along. It's going to take a while, like you said.
Yeah, anything new, getting people involved, getting people understanding what's happening, because there's some nuance to this as well. And you're dealing with something that maybe hasn't been done before. And some of these places, some of these smaller cities, they haven't had a team in a while, correct?
Or at all. That's right.
So getting people involved, who's going to take the lead, who are those? I mean, that's a big job, honestly, Tom. I think you've taken. And, looking at that and the landscape, I think it's worth doing.
Yeah, we've targeted, first of all, the high school coaches.
Uh-huh.
We know a lot of these high school coaches, though, may not end up being the coaches of a Legion baseball summer team.
Right.
But that's where we've started. We'll be following up here this, later in the next month or two, going really hard at the different posts.
Sure.
That don't have these, and see if we can't generate something from the post side too. So we got both ways there. We're looking at this, because you'll need volunteers, mm-hmm. and that's sometimes tough, but that's the reality of it. And we have, as American Legion, we have a very good group of volunteers already that are helping us and have helped us for years. And I tip my hat to them, because there's a lot of work that goes in, a lot of time that goes in, and I really do appreciate their help. And I know the boys do too,
sure.
Of course. But
sure.
Yeah, that's one of the keys to our program that's a little different than some of the other programs. But hopefully this D2 thing will start to kick off, and it'll help our program grow.
Absolutely. And we're going to keep talking about this. Hopefully we can get, we'll continue to, we're going to keep bringing Tom back on the show. One, because he's interesting to talk to. And two, he's the state chairman. Those are pretty good reasons, man.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to be of service to the folks that want to play some baseball. That's for sure.
Well, I think one of the interesting things that we've talked about over the last little bit, and we've been talking with other commissioners, and I think as you've said, is, where did Legion baseball hasn't gone anywhere, but the program and the the teams and where they're at, how are we catching up as a program to the landscape of baseball today?
There's a couple different ways that we're doing that. It's not good to always just do one thing.
Right.
But we have been actively approaching coaches, not just high school coaches, but college coaches, meeting with them, talking about the program with them, getting some of their ideas on what's going on, the landscape and things of that nature. And that's helping us a lot to understand what we're facing and what they're looking for too. I think that the other ways that we're looking at doing this is to do some things maybe that I know that has not been done since I've been around, and probably for a long time. But this summer, we're going to have an all-star game played at Busch Stadium. And that's great for Elite American Legion. It's also, by the way, the Missouri All-Star team versus the Illinois All-Star team. So it'll be the two states competing against one another. We'll be playing after the Rockies game on August 6th. And we're very anxious about that. This is our first time doing this. But more importantly, I think it's for the program and for the boys. Because I talked to somebody the other day down here in St. Charles. We have a fundraiser coming up, and he's always contributed, and I got a chance to talk to the owner of this company a little bit, and that's one of his top memories is playing at Busch Stadium.
Really?
Yes. Now, this was 25, 30 years ago.
Sure.
But we're trying to make it we're trying to make it an experience here for the boys that they'll remember all their life. I mean,
right.
I played at Busch Stadium. I was down there, played, where Albert Pujols played and all the rest of them, and that kind of thing. So we're looking forward to that game being something that will move us along in the right direction, let people know that, what we're doing with American Legion Baseball, and more importantly, what we're doing with our top players. I mean, what we're looking at here with, an all-star team, you have to say, well, who are your all-stars? Well, these are all-stars all over the state. So we have to this year develop a system to identify who those players are. I'm going to give you credit because you're the one that initially talked about that 6 months ago, how that would be nice to say, in a sense, who are your top 10 pitchers, your top 10 hitters.
Right.
And it sparked me because I thought, that's great stuff. I mean,
right.
They all look forward to it. Oh, yeah, we can use that too for promoting the boys to different coaches and stuff in schools and things of that nature too. But it would be something to be able to do, and I knew that we needed a system to do that.
Right.
And we don't have that, but we're putting it in place.
And that's the stepping stone, right?
Yes, it is. It is a stepping stone. It's a change too.
Yes.
And it's going to be one of those things where if you want your boys considered in this program, you're going to have to report in this way.
And I think this is huge, and I've heard this before, but I think it's so important that the state you're spearheading this. The state is coming together and really working with the zones, the districts, the people that are there in creating these opportunities. I think the direction you've given, Tom, and what because you've been part of Legion Baseball for so long, and really taking that spearhead. You don't know how people are going to react to these things sometimes.
No.
So it is challenging. It's not always easy to move something in a different direction, right?
It isn't, and that's where your company comes in to help us, because we have to communicate. Okay, so there's two things here again with the communication. One, the communication that your company's doing as far as the social media, the different platforms, getting it out there in front of people, what we're doing and so forth. We also have to, look at the organization itself, moving information from the state commissioners down to the zone to the districts. Okay. We have been working on that the last couple of months to increase that, smooth it out, make sure that the word's getting down to people, and it's important. It's very important, and it's something that we need.
And communication at any level is key to everything. Being able to communicate and not just communicating for the sake of communicating, but we have a plan.
Yes.
There is a plan. We want to execute this. And in building a program moving forward, when you start talking about players, your top 10 guys, where they played at Bush, but that memory is because we know most of these kids would like to play at the next level or get where they want to go, or they just love the experience of playing ball. There are those kids, and that's great. That's fantastic. But there's those kids that really want to move to the next level, have a goal of playing college baseball with the anticipation of maybe a shot, because we all know this. This is the thing that I think is very interesting. The percentages of playing in the major leagues are very minute.
Very.
It's just the case. But you never take away the opportunities for a kid. You want to give them the opportunity to succeed to the highest level possible. And I believe that. We, in our professions, we always challenged ourselves to do that. I want to get, you're working, you're committing yourself to your profession, what you're doing, and you strive to be the best and to move up as far as you can get to it. You may not achieve the top place, but you let your talent go to its fullest. And I think that's true in anything we do, correct?
It is, and I think the way that Legion, at least the National Legion, is helping this move along is this is a national program. So teams that win the state tournament, they go on to regional tournaments. And the neat thing about that, this is where National steps in and they bus or fly the whole team and managers to the site where they're going to have the regional tournament. And they turn around and all the hotels are taken care of, all the food's taken care of, all the transportation back and forth from the fields is taken care of. There's just some really great experiences for the kids at that level. And if they're lucky enough to win the regional, they go right to the World Series. They don't even go home, they fly them. Again, National steps in and pays all of the cost to fly them to the World Series. Again, hotels are taken care of, everything's taken care of. So it gives opportunities sometimes to some of the kids that have the talent, but may not have all the financial support to do something like that.
Exactly, Tom.
And so that's attractive, I think, to a lot of us. I mean,
and as a parent, all I got to worry about is getting myself down there.
That's all.
Really, in that respect, right?
You're right. That's right. Even though it is covered by ESPN3.
We can watch on TV, but as a parent, if I know my son's being taken care of down there, they're playing, and all I got to concern myself is some gas money and a place to stay.
So it's a we talk about a state club. It's almost like a national club.
It is.
It is.
It really is. And I think that's an interesting piece. And I don't think many kids understand that about Legion baseball, and that at that top level, the opportunities. We talk about the Festus Post.
Yes. Yes.
They were in the World Series as recently as 2019. And Festus High School, they were just in the state Final Four, finishing in second place.
Wow.
To Platte County up there. So all that down there, Festus, they got a great group and players. We know Hillsboro just started down there as well.
Yes.
Some really good guys, Jeremy Partney, and I know the other gentleman's name, and now it's out of my brain.
The one that's spearheaded down there?
Yes.
Chuck
Johnson.
Yes.
And then the other coach.
Yes.
That's the other one I can't remember. I should have, and I didn't.
That's okay.
And it's my fault because he's a really nice. They're younger guys. They played at Festus.
Yeah.
Now they're wanting to build that program at Hillsboro. I think that's great, as you said. That's what you see, these kids, and that's where things really start, in my estimation, is grassroots. Is you see kids that have played Legion coming back and giving back into the community.
Yes.
And making an impact on these young people's lives.
One of the things, too, we're doing, which is probably, we're trying to talk about it from a statewide, but it's more of a local area here in the eastern side of the state. There's two things. One, we were approached by the Metro Collegiate League last fall.
Yeah.
They asked if we would consider putting a team in there We really enjoyed the discussion with them, the fellows there, and I'm happy to say that we're looking at doing that this year. So these are opportunities for the boys that are no longer able to play the Legion baseball program because they're too old.
Right.
But now let's flip down to the younger ones. The other thing that we're doing is we're trying to get in. Well, we are working on 13 and under and 12 and under and 14 and under, down a little bit lower in the age group. Yes.
Okay.
To start up, and that's something that has to be done at the post levels and the district levels.
Right.
But we're in discussion right now with how do we do that. We've got a couple of other leagues that have approached us about maybe joining up with them, which is fine. We can do that. It doesn't have to be all Legion League. We can play with the other leagues too.
Why not?
Why not? That's right. We're playing baseball, right?
It's just baseball. And I think that's something, Tom, you wouldn't have seen 10 years ago from Legion Baseball. Yes?
It could have, yes. I don't.
Okay.
It was there, but if you go back a little bit further, 20 or 25 years, no, it was strictly just Legion.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But now we've kind of expanded that, and that's something that's going on all over the nation.
And I think and that to me is where you really see people like yourself and working across the state lines with Illinois.
Yes.
And the folks over there understanding that, it needs to be a cooperative effort because you have programs. It's basically what you've created, what we see in the baseball landscape, club baseball, and there's groups that are on a national level. Well, Legion for years was the premier national program in that respect, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
Because, that's the kids playing from all over the country coming, and it was the top players, guys, is Legion Baseball. We know that the landscape has changed, and I really think that it's interesting how you guys are taking the approach to these things and understanding, not to mention the veterans, the people that are there, the people that are giving back into the community because, Legion Baseball is one of the most cost-effective places to play ball. It is. And to me, if you're looking and considering these things, and you're a parent and you say, our budget's, a little smaller, it's an option. There's an opportunity there. And I think that, not enough people know about that part of it.
No, they don't. Some of them find out afterwards and so forth. But I mean, it's a fact. I think one of the things that's probably driving it is they're looking. They think their son has talent in this area, and they want to get that promoted. Where's the best place to do that?
Sure, exactly.
And so we now recognize that's what is driving a lot of this.
Right.
So we need to step up into these areas and say, yes, we're there. We're promoting your son. We're doing these things that will get him out there and get him noticed, and hopefully we can build the program up a little bit.
And to finish off that point, one of the things you guys recently did, working with Russ Clicker, he's the Zone 1 commissioner. You guys recently had some discussions with Prep Baseball Report and working to bring PBR, the recruiting part of that, into the program, right?
Exactly. Yes. We're looking forward to more discussions. It was a good discussion with Kevin Mulder. We appreciated you setting that up for us. Thank you.
Oh, well, hey, I'm trying. This to me is about, and this is what YBMcast is all, Youth Baseball Midwest, this part of it. Baseball is a fun game.
Yes.
And I know there are negatives going on. I was talking to a few people the other day. There's negatives. We have issues across the board, umpires. Everybody talks about parents, or a coach or a club or this or that. There's always hurdles.
Always.
That you're going to have to overcome. Yeah. I think we need to just, as people, working and keeping in mind the benefit of our children.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. There are some that are very talented. There's some that are not. I mean, I coached in this Legion program for many years, and sometimes I would take players that I knew weren't going to be all-stars, but they were players, and they wanted to be on a team.
Right.
And that's an important part of the Legion baseball program, and developing that understanding of what it is to be on a team. And the community effort. I mean, there's times when I've had the boys standing in front of grocery stores giving out poppies. There's
nothing wrong with that.
No, and the 4th of July parade, we're down here, walking the street with our post veterans and everything, and letting them understand what this is about.
Yeah.
There's a connection here that they have with American Legion, and we're proud of that.
And that's the thing, the values, citizenship, right? Sportsmanship.
Yes.
And I'm missing one.
No, citizenship through sportsmanship.
There it is.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
You're on.
And that's community. And, people caring about each other. I think that's the key. And if we don't care about each other and we don't care about those things, we shouldn't be hollering at one another. Let's find out how we can help, how we can provide opportunities. And I think that's the key to it, Tom.
I think what you hit on right there is providing opportunities. That's where we're headed. We want to be able to do that.
And I love that. It's great. I enjoy working with you. And we're going to keep having Tom come back, and we're going to talk about these things, the growth, and the keep moving. And that's why we're doing this with, we've added Legion Baseball Talk to our podcast, and I'm enjoying that, and we're going to do more. Hopefully, I want to get some of the other guys. We had Jeremy and
yes.
Man, it's terrible. Oh,
that's right. I
just
talked to Chuck yesterday, and I reminded him of this, and he said, "Tell he'll get on." I
reached out to Chuck.
He knows that.
Okay.
He said he'll do it.
Good. We'll get Chuck on, talk about what's going on down in that part of the state.
That's down in the southeastern portion.
Hopefully, we can get Mark Lewis too. Mark Lewis is the zone, or is he zone?
He's the zone commissioner down there. He's going with me to the Missouri High School Baseball Coaches Association Friday.
Oh, very
He'll be
good.
manning the booth with me.
Very
and I
good.
talked to Mike Hartsook over in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's
wants
reviving the Creve Coeur
Good.
post. Am I correct?
I believe so.
Because I was talking to some guys over in Baldwin and Creve Coeur. They couldn't believe it. They didn't know. It's like, I guess it had some troubles and whatnot. But getting that back, District 9 and 10 have a lot of history. Mm-hmm. They really do in this area. And don't want to forget Jim Moran.
No.
Over in the western part of the state. Jim does a great job. And Jim does a big tournament every
Very big.
year.
Yes,
right?
He does. The Blue Springs Wood Bat. Mm-hmm.
Blue Springs Wood Bat. If you're a Legion post, and he brings posts from all over the Midwest, doesn't he?
Even Canada.
Even Canada.
Yes, even Canada.
I mean, if you want to play in a big tournament, get a hold of Jim.
Yes.
And we'll get some more information. We'll start doing some more of these things, talking, and we'll get Jim on and talk about that. I think it's important to do those things and what's going on with Legion Baseball.
What we've talked about, though, here recently, and it's something new that we've never done before, and that's cool, is putting out a monthly newsletter from me.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and we're going to get it direct from the chairman's chair.
Good.
You like that, right?
I resemble that.
Oh man. But there's a lot of good stuff going on with Legion Baseball, and we're happy to be part of it. We're happy to be able to talk about that and help push it along, because I've always said this, there's always a place to play ball.
Mm-hmm.
Always a place to play ball. Find out where you fit. Find out, if you want to grow and you want to keep growing, get with the coaches, believe in each other, team, all those things. Whether it's on this club or that club or this club, Legion Club, whatever. Don't worry so much anymore about, if the name on the jersey on the front. It's the guys' names on the back that matter, and the team and who you're playing with and who you're working with and the community of it.
Okay.
That's what I think. That's just my humble opinion.
Thank you.
Tom Rhoads, everybody, state chairman, Missouri American Legion Baseball. As I'm talking about jerseys here, we have a new partner in Prime Sports Midwest, uniforms. If you've got a rec team, a large club, anything, Prime Sports Midwest can handle any size. They can set up fantastic fanwear stores, and 80% of their uniforms, fanwear, are decorated in the store so they can control the quality, design, creativity, deadlines. Most importantly, locally owned. And that's important to me, and that's why I enjoy that. They're locally owned. They're focused on customer service. And remember, you can come to their store. They have the store. It's in Fenton, Missouri. It's in Champions Village. And I don't have the address. Shame on me. Go to the website, primesportsmw.com. You can get that. Go check out. And they not only do baseball, but they do all the sports. They do hockey, they do football, they do those. But baseball time, I'm going to talk baseball because that's what we do around here. We talk a little baseball. So remember, primesportsmw.com. Go check them out. Get your team outfitted for the upcoming season. Tell Rick Benz that YBM sent you, please. Okay? All right. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks again to Tom. And have a great day in the Lord. Wait. Man, I am a mess, Lauren. She's helped me. It's a good thing she's over there because I'm missing everything here, Tom. I got so caught up in the talk and the discussion. I need big signs. Remember to subscribe. There it is. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Hit that dinger next to it because that's that dinger. It gets over the fence and gets you all your notifications for upcoming episodes. And we hope that you want to see more because we're not only Legion Baseball talk, but we got youth baseball talk, we got prep baseball talk, and we're talking to all age groups and all sizes and shapes. And it's a lot of fun to see what's going on in the state, in the Midwest here with baseball. So thank you, Lauren. Check out our website, youthbaseballmidwest.com. Everybody, have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. Hitters, Tom, you know the whole adage? Hitters?
Hitters what?
Hit them where they ain't.
That's a fact.
See? There it is. He knew that too. We all know that, right? That's what you got to do. We'll see y'all next time.